So let's put up that first slide. Why are you here? This is a slide of a National Geographic from like the 40s of the heavens. So why are you here? Why are we here on Earth? What is your purpose in life? Now, when I was a child at Our Lady of Fatima, I learned that our purpose in life was to know, love, and serve God. To know, love, and serve God. Now, unity, it all depends on what's God, right? Unity, we are big on God within. We are big on God in the people in the room. We're big on that. So to know, love, and serve God within and God in our fellow people, that's still a pretty good answer why we're here. Know, love, and serve. It seems that people are happier when your life has a purpose, right? And one of the things that I read this week was that when we're young and when we're raising families, especially, and when we're getting our careers going, a lot of times our purpose is very focused into living each day, taking care of kids, taking care of ourselves, getting a career going. And that's a good purpose, and it is very fulfilling. And when we get a little bit older, say, maybe I've already gone through that empty nest thing, that is a time when our purpose shifts, and not just any purpose will do. The purpose of living day to day lacks a little something. We did that. So that's when many of us find we need a purpose that's greater than ourselves, that we need to serve something bigger than ourselves, bigger even than our family. Why are you here? I can't answer that question for you. The question I want to know is, why are you in church today? Here's my answer. To be better spiritually, to know yourself, love yourself, serve yourself, to know the universe, love the universe, serve the universe. And why are you specifically in this church? Why are you here right now in this room? This is a special gathering. This is a gathering of beings of light and love and wisdom who know, love, and serve God within and God in each other and God in the universe. I found this and I loved it. You don't attend church, you are the church, which I take into my soul. Of course, I think I'm the church. I work here. I come here every day almost. I probably think I'm the church in a way more than I should. But what is important to remember is not that I am the church. It's important for me to remember that you are the church. Even more important for me than we is important for me to remember that you are the church. You don't attend church. You are creating space where everybody, regardless of their background or where they came from, if they just walked in for the first time today or if they've been here years and years, we're creating an energy where you can hear and experience the power of OP2. There is only one presence and one power active in my life and in the universe, God the good omnipotent. That's what OP2 is. One presence, one power. It is in us. It's what we teach. It's what we preach. Hopefully it's what, when we walk our talk, that's the talk we walk. This is about showing up. Whoops, goes a little fast. I have some stories of showing up because the last thing I wanted to hit is this. You came here today and you showed up. And you showed up as who you are, which is the Christ within. You came here with your spirit burning brightly inside you. And I have some cool stories about what happens when you just show up. And also, in case you're not getting it, I want you to keep showing up here in this room on Sunday, and maybe Wednesday, and maybe occasionally Tuesday. The first one, I don't know if you probably can't read it, but it's a Facebook post. I want to read you the Facebook post because I think it's so cool. Laura Wolf is eating breakfast at the Waffle House in Leveque, Texas, if that's how you say it. I don't know her name, but I heard this elderly man tell her his hands don't work too good. He was also on oxygen and struggling to breathe. Without hesitation, she took his plate and began cutting up his ham. This may seem small, but to him, I'm sure it was huge. I'm thankful to have seen this act of kindness and caring at the start of my day, while everything in this world seems so negative. If we could all be like this waitress and take time to offer a helping hand. Hashtag Waffle House, hashtag kindness, hashtag giving back, hashtag offer love, hashtag be kind, hashtag good news. So this is Ivani Williams. By lending a hand and brightening this man's day, she actually brightened her own future, because the 18-year-old's kindness was rewarded with a $16,000 college scholarship, because the photo went viral with nearly 50,000 shares, and representatives from Texas Southern University in Houston noticed, and on March 8, school officials gathered at the Waffle House and presented her with this scholarship. And the money, she gets to use it, $4,000 for each semester. It's like, wow, that's really cool. I love that. Here's another one. Whoops. So tricky. There we go. This is a picture of John Sutherland. I think he's the guy on there. There's the guy, John Sutherland. There's the owner of the restaurant I'm going to talk about. It's just a simple thing for when you show up. And by the way, you got that the waitress just showed up every day at her job in the Waffle House and was available to express as all goodness one morning. So this guy, John Sutherland, first began going to Lee's Diner a couple years ago, and he got to know the owner, Omar Ilian. And then he heard about state inspections of the restaurant. I knew there was something going on when I looked in the kitchen. This doesn't make sense. This doesn't add up. I know what a kitchen typically looks like. I've seen horrible things happen in kitchens. But Lee's Diner, a metal and glass diner built in 1951, is not among those. With a strong sense of volunteerism and the belief in how small businesses are vital to a local economy, Sutherland started a Facebook page, York Fixes Lee's Diner, and organized cleanup efforts. So basically, he just got together with people, and in Springettsbury, that's a pretty good name, Springettsbury Township, and they cleaned up the diner. Okay? So that the guy didn't have to shut down the diner. He needed help. That's a simple thing. The guy just shows up at, the diner whenever he shows up, and yet he was available to express as one power, one presence. Now, those are the pictures, but we're going to keep that picture up there. I have a couple personal stories and stories from people in the room. It's funny, 2 people told me stories today. One person said that she usually goes away in February, but since she didn't go away this February, she was available to be a support to many people in her life who had things going on that needed her. So it's like, wow, sometimes it's interesting, this showing up, a random change of plans, and then here you are just when people need you. And a similar thing happened to Roland and I when we were traveling. We met some of our friends who live in Florida, and Roland has been friends with this man for many, many years. Heck, Roland has been friends with Ray since before he met me. And we were going to spend 5 days with our friends, Ray and Ray's wife, Dottie. And it's interesting to me that by about that time, I definitely wanted a rest when I went on this 5 weeks off. And by the time we got to Florida, we'd had many great experiences. But I noticed that I felt rested, and I said a little prayer that morning. I said, well, okay, Spirit, let me just be available today for what needs to happen. Let me toss my agenda aside and just be available. And that's the day then that we were with Ray and Dottie and found out that, I'm sorry, it still feels a little moving to me that Dottie got a really serious diagnosis from the doctor that she basically had 2 months to live. And we were there, and I at first felt like, well, man, we have, they need their space. But they were like, no, we're glad you're here. And I know that for Roland to be there at that time was really important to Ray and to Dottie. So that, who knows what you're supposed to do, but sometimes, really, seriously, all you have to do is show up. And when stuff happens, you know what to do when that stuff happens to you. You know what to do when your friends call you or you're in a place. Like all of us do, because we really are that light, that awesome, awesome light. And the universe is always giving us opportunities to be. In unity, we like to call it the Christ, to be the Christ. To be the Buddha. To be spirit in action. To be who you really are. Well, one of the last little stories I want to talk about is we have a little pantry out there, and the reason we got it is it's actually, just in case you didn't know, it was a grant given to some students at Drake, and the professor is in a group I'm in. It's called Contemplative Leadership. He said, "Hey, would it be okay if some kids maybe talk to you about having a little pantry?" And they had a grant for little pantries around the Drake neighborhood, but they made an exception for us to have one here. And it's a lovely, it's almost like a piece of art to me that it's like those lending libraries, but instead of a library, it's a little pantry with food. And the deal is it's a neighborhood thing. Like, we're keeping it, and we are responsible for it. And there's many people here who take that as a responsibility and check it and put stuff in it. But it's also a neighborhood thing. I've seen neighbors put stuff in. It's like, leave something, take something as you need it. I've seen a few neighbors put things in, which makes me happy. And when I was gone, Tom, the professor, some of his students, it had been a long project, like a whole year project, and some of his students just hadn't had success yet. So he called me up and said, could I come have my students talk to you and you could tell them about it? Well, I was in Florida, so I couldn't. So I knew somebody who would probably like to do it. That was our friend Linda Klein, who isn't here today, but I knew that she would love, because she loves the little pantry, and I knew she would love to go and talk. So she not only talked to the students, she went and visited them at class, and of course, it was one of those things that they had a great connection. She loved it. She got excited about what they were doing and a few more things they were doing. And so it ended up being a beautiful connection. It's the synchronicity of showing up. It's that synchronicity of showing up. And here's what I want to do, and I know you can do it with me. I want you to think about, why are you here? I want you to think about it today. I seriously want I want it to pop into your heads this week. I want you to think about why you're here on earth now. And I also want you to think about what's your purpose. And I want you to think about why you're here today and why you're going to come back. And why together our love for each other is going to burn brighter. The good thing about going away is you realize a lot of things. And I realize how much, well, for example, and I was talking to someone today about when you work on Sunday, you don't go to church a lot on Sunday. Or if you ever do go to church a lot on Sunday, it's a special thing that you take your Sunday off and you go to a church. And I notice that when I go to other churches, I like it, but I feel a little bit, it's like I feel like a visitor. Because what I love about Sunday in any Unity church, and even when I was a little kid and went to Our Lady of Fatima Church, what I love is the part that I'm a part of that church, that I create that church. And I want us to feel and know that this Sunday and next Sunday and the Sunday after, and like I said, maybe a Wednesday or a Tuesday, we've got some meditations, we have other stuff going on, that when we come here, that we love and appreciate each other so much. Like right now in this room, we are the perfect group. We are just absolutely stellar and stunning, We are here shining to each other, connecting with each other, making our lives better. Like, my life is going to be better because I sat here in the room with you. My life is going to be better because I sang a few songs. My life is going to be better because I listened to Chris and Kyle play. And I'm going to go get that book, The Pink Refrigerator, because I so want it, from the library. And it's going to be better. Like Sandy said, it is it's like getting your battery charged. But I want us to buckle down and appreciate, and actually, I'm going to, this is a video. You can send it to everybody you know who isn't here. And I don't know if you can underline parts on the video, but the show up part, that when you're not here, we miss you. Like, we actually miss you because you are the church. For years, we had a sign out there that said Guilt-Free Sunday. And I love that sign, and I still stand by it. But now my purpose is not guilt, but responsibility. That this community, needs you. This community needs you to be here because that is what we are. We are the church. So, why are you here? We're here to show up as one power, one presence in this room on Sunday at 10:30. Let's take an offering for unity.